Okay, this is a disclaimer for the video that I'm about to show you because I need to give you some backstory on this video. First off, I just found this in my archive of archives, and I'm gonna start by posting on my channel just archival footage from a while back that doesn't necessarily explain how I feel now, because that was done when how I feel then. And but that's okay. Some of this stuff is important material that I still feel like you guys need to hear. And this one comes from an experience that I had at CVS with a 13-year-old. You know what I mean? And you can come in here if you wanna come in here and just support, sure, support me in this. Okay, so basically what happened was I walked into CVS and I saw this kid, because I don't really go into the backstory. So I saw this young man, and he was dragging his backpack along the ground. So he was coming in with a bunch of his friends, and he took his backpack off and then had it dragging behind him on the ground. Okay.
Here's what it looks like. Like, wow.
See what I'm talking about? Okay. So now that you know like the backstory about like what I was like witnessing with my own eyes, okay? Now, please enjoy. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, Rob Food for Cruise. So I want to do a video blog this morning about something that happened right now. Really important situation that just happened. Okay, so I went to CVS because I got one of those texts like, hey, you got some medicine to pick up. I was like, cool. So I cruise on over there. Obviously, actually not obviously, but the pharmacy's closed because they don't open till 9, which is like 20 minutes from now, which is like, damn, man, they got good hours. That's awesome. Become a pharmacist. That's pretty straight. So anyway, so I go up in there and I'm walking over to the farm. I look at the hours. I'm like, all right, they open at 9. I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'll come back after and get whatever I gotta get. Right? It's cool. I gotta get some acne medicine too, which is awesome. But whatever. So I got some shit to do. That's fine. Well, in and amongst that whole situation, I see that there's this kind of like a middle schooler. I know he's a middle schooler because he got a backpack on, and the middle school is right down the road, and they always come in there in the mornings to get like their candy and shit that probably their parents don't want them to eat, because I would definitely tell my kid like, no, don't go there and get that, but there they are getting that, spending their parents' hard-earned lunch money on bullshit, so it's like, all right, hey kids, if you're like 13, 14 or whatever you are, and you're spending your parents' money on candy, stop that. All right, stop that. That's bullshit. Spend that money on what they gave you to spend that money on, which is like lunch, good quality snacks, but all right, I digress. So I see this kid in there, some middle schooler, and I noticed him when I walked in, whatever. So I walk out, and I'm on my way to walk out. I'm in the acne aisle, because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get it now because I'm gonna come back later. So I just get everything in one bunch, right? Because that's efficient, right? Be efficient in your life too. Be efficient. I don't need to have 2 transactions when I could have 1 transaction later that encompasses all the stuff I need to get, right? That's what makes sense. So I'm like, but also I look to see where the medicine is, so that when I go back there later, I don't have to search for it. I just know, okay, I gotta go to aisle 6, get that, boom, go to the pharmacy, get the medicine, get it, pay all there, and then walk up out of there. So I can make a really smooth little in and out, All right, I see this kid, and his backpack's on the ground. So I'm like, what is he doing, right? And I'm like, I just noticed it. I noticed it. I'm like, this kid's acting a fool, right? This kid's acting a fool. So I don't know how much you guys have been following my channel. This is your first video, welcome. But if it's not, and you've seen some other videos, you're gonna know that I have an 8-year-old son, right? So I do have a child that I raise, and that would raise hell with me if I saw him drop his backpack on the floor like that. I would be like, what the, yo, like you're now gonna answer to the wrath of your dad, because that's a bunch, that's not the way we act in public. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way you act at the house. It's not the way you act in front of me. That's not the way human beings act. You know what I mean? We don't just do shit like that, right? So, that's ridiculous. So anyway, so this kid says hi, walks into the aisle that I'm into, looks me in the eye and says, "How you doing?" And I said, "How you doing?" I said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Sir, excuse me." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why are you acting like that?" So I had a conversation with this young man. Basically, what I'm trying to say with this is that, like, the thing about this is that, okay, like, I felt, he approached me and said hello. Now, instead of just saying hi, I took that as an opportunity to ask this young man about his behavior. I said, "Hey, why are you acting like that? Why is your backpack on the ground, right? Because that's strange." So I said, "Hey, man," and I took that as an opportunity to explain to him, about his life, and about, hey, like, why do you think, like, what were you doing? He's like, "Oh, I was going to the bathroom." I was like, "Why would you drop your backpack on the ground like that? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what purpose does that serve? I don't understand. Please explain this to me," right? So I gave that as an opportunity to teach a younger person a positive reinforcement lesson about life, that, hey, that's not the way you should act, okay? And also, the fact that he was black, makes a difference. I said, "Hey, man, as an African American person, you're already being watched, right? So it's like, why would you give them any more reason, like, to watch you more? You're embarrassing me, So it's like, now I feel compelled in so many different avenues to explain to this kid why he's an embarrassment to himself and to his parents and to the community. So, I think that this kid really took that to heart. But I say that to say this morning that, we owe it to ourselves as adults. We owe it to ourselves as parents to not only parent and mentor our children, but to parent and mentor other children that we see out there acting a fucking fool, If you can say something to a child and maybe, curve the way that they think, that might change everything for that person, So I went on to explain to him. I said, "Hey, man, I said, why are you acting like that? Like, where's, what's the purpose of that? That's an embarrassment, man." And then I went on to explain to him. I said, you need to act better. You need to do. I said, "How you doing in school?" He said, "Oh, I'm doing all right." I said, "All right, well, cool. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna just believe him, because I have no other reason to doubt this child otherwise, right?" But I said, "So what do you think I do for a living?" No idea, right? So I explained to him, "Hey, I'm an airline pilot." I said, when I go to work, so I take a lot of pride in making sure that my uniform is perfectly pressed. I take a lot of pride to make sure that I study, every day, my craft, to make sure that I'm ready to go in case of emergencies. I take it as pride to make sure that when I walk through the terminal that I have a calm demeanor, and I set up my life in a way that it allows me to be like that, so that, if things go wrong in the jet, I'm not stressed out about other pointless shit in my life, because that's not what I want to be thinking about when I'm taking care of you guys on a daily basis. I want to think about my job, what I got to do. And because it could go bad, and because then your life is in my hands, I take that very seriously. So I make sure that I try to, emulate professionalism on all levels when I come into work, right? So I explained it to him. I said, "Hey, man, Let me explain to you something. You know, you can't be out here acting a fool because I wish I had somebody tell me to do that, man. When I was a younger kid, that might have changed the way I acted. I mean, I had to learn a lot of shit the hard way, like I'm sure a lot of us do. But it's like, just don't forget about it, man. Don't forget kids are kids. Don't forget kids act a fool, and don't forget to, sometimes taking a kid aside, explaining a little bit about your life, and if you have a positive influence in the community, and you have a positive job that could maybe even shift the influence on a younger child and give them possible positive reinforcement for their life, then you owe it to the kids coming up to do that. All right, so that's what I did. I said, hey man, I'm a pilot, right? I said I didn't actually think I could be a pilot until I saw another black pilot. So hey, here's me telling you, hey man, you could maybe get your shit together, stop acting a fool, and maybe be doing what I'm doing for a living, which is awesome. My job is awesome. Love my job, but who knows, man? Maybe that's a little seed in that kid's brain that may spawn into something else, or the seed upon seeds, that's the one seed that took, or that's the seed that leads to the next seed that's gonna take. You don't know like what your impact's gonna be on the youth, but come on, guys, adults, let's get it together out here. This is a group effort. They say it takes a village. It fucking does. I'm just a villager, man. Limited in the Elmwood, right? But seriously, I thought this video blog was really important. This is not anything to do with fitness or anything. It's just to do with life in general. And you might think that that's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, you can't talk to somebody else's kid like that. It's like, yes, you can, because we're all members of society together. We all live on Terra together. So the fact that we're all here on Terra together, we shall be together. We shall help each other out. And if you have the means and the opportunity and the moment to maybe help somebody out and give them maybe a new direction in life, or just see that, hey, that they might need a little talking to, make it happen, man. You never know how far that will go. Thanks for watching.